The player behind me, Sanju Samson, has been in the news recently. Just a while earlier, he was the centre of the biggest trade the Indian Premier League has ever witnessed in its long stint. Sanju Samson moving from Rajasthan Royals to Chennai Super Kings, a long-standing captain of a franchise moving to another club. Now, while that displacement is something Sanju will embrace, there's more buzz now on his side or his place in the Indian national team. Where have things gone wrong for this flamboyant wicketkeeper-batter? And does this require some attention? Now, unfortunately, the curious case of Sanju Samson is not new to Indian cricket. It's been simmering for a while. It's a story that has gone on for too long. And this here today seems to be the latest chapter. The thing is, whatever the real issue may truly be, perception is definitely this: Sanju Samson deserves to be treated better. He's a talent that India has failed to use smartly, and whatever happened and continues to happen to him is rather unfair and unfortunate. Fans think so. Many former cricketers and experts around Indian cricket feel so. Why, even political leaders with a keen, passionate eye on the sport believe so.
He's somebody who has been outstanding at various levels of the game. He holds a record, I think, in the Mushtaq Ali Trophy for a double century of 212, which, if I'm not mistaken, was the only double century when it was scored in 2019. I mean, he's just an amazing, amazing cricketer. And he's been somewhat unlucky that he's got so little to show for it in terms of appearances in India colours.
Sanju Samson never quite enjoyed a solid free run in any format at the Indian national team. And that's the harsh reality. An Indian side that has viewed talent and potential over form and numbers. The same Indian side that valued the brute impact someone like a Virender Sehwag could impart, even though consistency was not quite his friend, has been guilty of looking the other way when it has come to Sanju Samson. Look, there are no comparisons here, but the same Samson who scored 100 in T20 International on foreign soil, not once but twice, and 3 times overall in one single year, 2024, has now been displaced. But that very same Samson, months later, finds himself replaced, dropped. Now, yes, there were a string of below par scores earlier this year, but the question here is this: is he someone you want to invest in for the next cycle? If so, can we make this better so that he delivers consistently? What's gone wrong? An opener, a player who has always been a top 3 batter for any side he features in and will continue to do so in the IPL too, no matter where he plays from now, has been shunted up and down. All thanks to the management wanting Shubman Gill to be a part of every format and play at the top instead.
Sanju got a raw deal. But you know, those opportunities are often created by people being injured or being rested. I think Shubman Gill is almost being elevated to the likes of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. And when they came back into teams, they went back into their position. It wasn't a case of shifting them down.
What Sean Pollock saying in effect is this: Sanju Samson has been shortchanged with no clarity or role definition exactly, because someone else who is Indian cricket's future has taken precedence instead. And that even if that person, here of course he's referring to Shubman Gill, got injured or was off the team briefly, he would come back to claim that spot. The spot that he left, in this case the top order, unfortunately doesn't work for a player who's giving you 2 skills for 1. And that's more disheartening. And what's more disheartening, of course, is that Sanju Samson truly believed that he would be backed, that his talent would be backed.
Gautam Gambhir once came to me and asked what happened. I told him I cannot convert my starts. He told me, even if you score 21 ducks, I won't drop you.
That was Sanju Samson in an interaction with Indian cricketer R. Ashwin just a while back. Now, which brings me back to the biggest point that probably troubles the Indian setup: communication. Clear and transparent communication that can at least let players know where they actually stand in the scheme of things when it comes to their place in the side. Playing sport is a grind, whether you are in the playing 11 or you're not. It takes a toll on you either ways. The least a management can do is try to maintain a transparent dressing room, a positive dressing room that will only give players a sense of security no matter what their position is. That's the only way they will perform and they will continue to deliver and at least try to improve. Else all you're doing is creating a negative environment that will only feed into more negativity. And where does that leave a player, in this case Sanju Samson? Confused, distraught and helpless. Not ideal for any cricket setup.
I was born into revolution. I inherited power like a crown. What I delivered was isolation. I built a personality cult that touched every home. Millions suffered hunger under my rule, but no one dared to speak. I ruled from palaces. My people queued for rice. I called myself the dear leader. History calls me something else, the dictator. Who am I?